This is on the telly.
So, hello everyone, welcome to another Cosmic Crone conversation with me, Marie.
And me, Tina.
Elvis! He's back again.
Elvis!
Yeah, this week we are starting a two-parter, so it's obviously part one today. And we're doing it on the evolution.
Yeah, so today we're going to use Darwin versus the Bible, not the Bible, religion.
Well, Bible, because we can't talk about whole of religions,
no.
Catholicism or lots of other things. So based it more on Christianity.
Which is the mainstream everywhere, isn't it? Really. So there are more versions or beliefs that where we come from, but that will be in part two. So today is about Darwin and religion.
Yeah, no, I'm so not up on this really. It's just another cosmic sort of area of life, isn't it?
Where do we come from?
Yeah, where do we come from?
Yeah. Well, evolution is a fact. Not that we come from monkeys. They always say, like Darwin's theory. It is still a theory. But evolution itself has been proved where organisms have changed and adapted over thousands, millions of years. And it just, shows different species have different genetics. And our genetics do come from some form of ape. That's why they say, we come from monkeys, but it's not like that.
Because everybody goes, well, if we did, why is the monkeys still here, and all that.
It's not monkeys. It's that millions of years old ancestors that did look ape-like, that were standing on two legs, that would have been the beginning of Homo sapiens. Then there are, like for instance, the bat came from the same genetics as that, and then probably chimpanzees, monkeys and gorillas came from that. So it's like a tree, isn't it? With all the branches, they all go off into their own little thing and then make new.
Because Darwin isn't the theory to end all theories.
No, actually Darwin, it was his dad that was into all the genetics and in evolution itself. Because I used to, where my horse used to live in Kent, it was Darwin's house just up the road. You get the blue plaques for people. Yeah, and it's on the house where Darwin lived.
We're talking of living. We're in my village at the house. So, been a location podcast, which I haven't mentioned for ages.
Yeah, and it's evening, so we're hoping that we've got enough lighting. It does make me look tan.
Look, see, there's a prism already going on my t-shirt. Anyway, back to Darwin. The living organisms have a common ancestor, so that backs up what you've just said.
Yeah. The first Homo sapien was like 5 million years ago, so we're talking a long time ago. So we're not talking we came from chimpanzees. It's just something that comes out when people talk about Darwin.
Yeah, anything that's evolving into something else, it takes absolutely tons of years, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, millions of years. When you think that the Earth itself, we believe, was covered in water at some point. So that all the first organisms, that grow from microorganisms would have been fish. And apparently, I've got to look at this. From fish, it went to tetrapods, to amphibians.
If there was 3 of them, would they be tripods?
Yeah.
Sorry.
To reptiles, mammals, primates, and then humans.
When his book he had was The Origin of Species, wasn't it? That's what he brought out. And that changed people's perceptions, like in biology, didn't it? I'm just looking at some he said that it took him 20 years to actually publish anything that he'd been working on. And the only reason he published it said that, let me look at my notes, is that in 1831 there was a he was a Cambridge naturalist, and then there was this he went, what did he do? He went Galapagos Islands. Beagle, that's the ship. He went on the HMS Beagle, and he collected all these fossils and plants and things like that. So it took him time, and it said that he was saying, like, there was one thing that somebody brought up about tortoises from his travels, was that one had a certain shape, or maybe a domed and a short neck, and that was the one that was around humans and things like that, on flat, I think, short neck, don't know what, but the long neck ones were the ones who had to go and forage, so they'd evolved to have long necks because they had to reach
up to plants.
Obviously with man, in a way, there's been a lot of crossbreeding, to be honest with you. If anybody can be honest, there's been a lot of crossbreeding, hasn't there?
They say that the first like early humans, when you think of millions of years ago, the planet, whatever body of land there was more or less like that. There wasn't what do you call them? Asia, Europe,
continents.
So though it was a larger mass of land that over, again, millions of years was split up,
and the land changed as well to accommodate the earth.
And when you look at different humans, you look at different races, how different they are, like the Eskimos, the smaller eyes probably for the bright sunlight with the snow against
people laugh at you, but it could be that's how it evolved.
I think it was something to do with that, but I think life as in Homo sapiens started like on the continent of Africa. That's where life began, and then it spread its wings.
Well, when I said it took him 20 years to do anything, he read something on Thomas Robert Malthus, who was in the same area as work, and I think that from what I was talking to somebody about this, and I said from what they gather is that he drove a fast car. No, that he didn't want him to take the glory. He'd been working 20 years on this, and he said, basically, and then he released his book. But it's how populations grow. That's it. The ones who survive.
Survival of the fittest.
Well, not necessarily. You don't have to be the strongest. It's the survivals of the ones who can adapt. They can adapt. You might be the strongest person on the earth, but if you can't eat the vegetation, or it makes you ill. You're not going to survive, are you? The strongest, I meant as muscle and things like that. And then those variations have become new species. Whatever that is. It took, it was Alfred Russel Wallace that sent Darwin a letter. He was a naturalist. Sorry, I got it completely wrong. That was whoever he was. No, but Darwin did read this bloke's stuff. But it was Alfred Russel Wallace that sent him a letter, and he was a naturalist, and he wanted to be known. He'd come up with the same conclusions as him about evolution and natural selection, basically. And that's it. 1858, they put joint ideas together. In 1859, Darwin put out his Origin of Species.
That's right.
That's it. And he became
famous.
He became famous, not just in those circles, but he became famous like a celebrity, I suppose. And it caused like quite a, you were in Victorian England.
That's what I was saying. People were laughing if they say you come from apes, but when you look at that very famous picture, and from
What is it? The march? Oh, it's going out my head. What it's called?
Like the human.
And then going like that.
Stands upright. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, about coming from, they've like come away from it, but might have some kind of genetic.
I mean, we're
link.
only. That's just one line lineage, isn't it? That leads to us. Everywhere goes all different places. Like I said, bats came from the same sort of primate type thing.
I mean, we've said this before.
Bats. I mean, we don't look nothing like a bat.
No. Well, but there are species that we still don't know about.
Yeah, look at the sea.
Yeah.
Bottom of the ocean.
I mean, they say, don't they? And they get the.
Ice.
I come across this creature, and we've talked about this before, and they have like similar, you know, maybe eyes the same shape.
I mean, I love the Natural History Museum. I love it.
Yeah.
And there they have skulls and parts of bodies of these evolution, different types. I don't know all the Latin names in it. From like a small creature, then it gets bigger and bigger.
Smalliest to biggest.
Hairier or less hairier, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Some hairier people, they might have a link to people who came from cold countries. From your experience, what do you think about, like, you know, living in different places? What would you say about?
I mean, I'm quite hairy. Yeah, I've got European blood. Didn't you say you have?
Yes, I did my DNA thing, and it was England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, but then I'd got Portuguese and Spanish.
I think the Mediterraneans are hairier.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's weird,
I've got Mediterranean
the heat.
blood.
So you're saying you're hairy?
I am, yes, hairy. Yeah, and my son, bless him, is.
Oh God, his son. Anyway, sorry, Bob. Yes, so even after all these years, the planet is changing as well.
Yeah, so evolution never ends, does it?
No.
We're constantly changing over millions of years and adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would do with the things that you eat as well, like I said earlier, about if you can't eat a certain thing, then you're going to fade away. So then the stronger genes of people being able to eat the vegetation or the animals or something, you know. So coming back to Darwin though, you say it's a theory, but he has said that things do change.
Darwin's theory, yeah, it's nobody ever said it's a fact, but evolution in itself
Is
has
evolving.
been proven because of DNA, and you know how we can look at fossils, how we look at this fossilised these Homo sapiens, and they're the early ones.
So what's our conclusion then on
Darwin's theory? Well, it's fact.
what is?
Genetics are a fact.
Right.
Whatever else Darwin said, and all the things that he studied, genetics themselves are a fact and have proved that evolution exists in some form, that things change and adapt. So yes, I kind of believe in evolution.
I can see where he's coming from, but he's not the be all and end all.
Yeah. So okay, religion.
Okay.
Here we go. This is the big one.
Here she goes. Right.
Right. You know, I'm not religious. You're not religious.
No, I was joking, mate. Yeah.
But when you've got to look at Christians and the Bible and even Islam. Islam are a lot more open to evolution and science.
Well, I got in touch with a friend of mine who's Muslim, and she was saying science is knowledge. So they the acceptance. She says, in her family, acceptance is knowledge. But she went, the Quran is the absolute truth, though.
But whether evolution exists, you know, in reality, in their reality, should I say, at the end of the day, God still made everything.
Yeah, there's a contradiction.
Yeah.
That exists.
So although
she says,
evolution exists, God still made all that.
Yeah, it says Quran shows God. It was in text, so Quran shows God created the earth. It was God's will. Science says might say completely something different, but the acceptance, she said, there's more acceptance than she said from not you, I mean my friend, from Christianity, that it's like this. They've said, well, you know, we have to change with the times, so to speak. She went, Allah created the universe and it's always been here. That's what she said. Science can always change its conclusion. The Quran and science have weight and you know, so like one time it might, the Quran might be on the same level as science, and sometimes it might not be. So the acceptance is there.
Whereas I think,
and she went, we're all part of a family, you know, because this is right. She went, we are from Adam's, the soil and the dust.
That's right. Yeah,
that's
Adam was. Yeah, their version is he was created from the soil, and then Allah breathed life.
Yeah, we all have a connection.
Yeah,
that's what she was saying. We all have a connection. So there is some sort of evolution that has been written within the Quran and what science has come up with. So that's what I got from her. It wasn't a long conversation.
I mean, obviously there were contradictions because the Bible says that the earth was made in 7 days, and it's only like 4,000 to 6,000. The earth is like 4,000 to 6,000 years old.
Yeah.
We know through a fact of science that the earth is millions of years old. So that debunks the Bible straight away to me.
There's some people who are Christians that have said that it was already there. The earth was already here. And what God did was to adapt with each day, bring something new to it for people to exist. Then he created, if I've got this right, Adam and Eve in his own image, but outside the Garden of Eden was those people who were waiting for the earth to change. Do you get me?
If you're taking the Bible literally, the earth was, you know, there was the sky, the sea, whatever, day and night, and then on the 7th day, 6 days.
It was more than that, wasn't it?
7 days it was, and on the 7th day he rested, didn't it? Because it was Sunday.
That's it.
No one works on a Sunday.
That's it. I've just got it. The March of Progress. That was the picture that Darwin did.
One.
Yeah, that's it. March of Progress.
Which they don't agree with Christians.
Yeah.
No, it's a no-no because it contradicts what they believe.
Well, 1950s, Pope Pius, he said the human soul is from God, but he didn't say, from what I can gather, he didn't say the creation.
Do you know, that's going back to Darwin, you've touched on something there, because when you think about sentient beings, not dogs and stuff, we know they're alive and they love and everything, but that point where Homo sapiens had the
consciousness,
soul, well, they have consciousness, wouldn't they, because they survive and eat and
right,
but that knowledge, maybe, is it?
Yeah,
or
is
that just is that the brain?
Developing?
Or is that the soul?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God, that's a bit deep. I didn't expect that
Did they
one.
have souls that, what we've spoke about before, you know, you die and then you come back into another body, or you go to another planet, into another
or you die and you die,
body,
whatever you believe in.
Yeah, so if you believe in souls, when did they start having a
I never
soul?
give that a thought.
But, I mean, I know, like you'd say, like, keep pointing at the dog in the back, probably can't see him, but dogs sure they have souls, you know, they're loving, living beings, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I never
But
thought about it.
Yeah,
what do you think? I'm always asking for your opinion.
Yeah, very, very strange crossover, wouldn't it have been at some point?
But that's what I think he was saying, that the human soul is from God. God created the soul within you. If I'm getting this correct,
is this the Muslim?
No, Pope Pius.
Pope, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Pope Pius. He was saying, like, you know, he's not saying it doesn't exist.
Because you know, in the Bible as well, when you think about evolution, dinosaurs came before humans. Yeah.
And some of them died because they had little arms and couldn't get to things. No, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But some species didn't survive because they weren't built to survive.
Yeah.
They didn't adapt.
Yeah.
It didn't change.
Yeah.
Is that why humans survived?
But the Bible, there's no mention of dinosaurs. But I did read that there was one.
Only Barney.
One species, and I can't remember what it was called. And it's described like, you know, I think it was like a diplodocus, the grass-eating ones with the long necks.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and a long tail. And the description in the Bible, it sounds like a dinosaur, but they were when people were around.
Wow.
But when they think the Earth is only 4,000 years old, where was that beast 4,000 years ago?
Yeah, because
we know it didn't exist because we know about ancient Egypt. We can go back through history.
It is that, like, you know, when people you keep talking about genetics and that, and then people travelled to somewhere else, and everybody around them had brown eyes, and then when somebody mated in another area, somebody had blue eyes. Those blue eyes mated with somebody with brown eyes, which made green eyes, and it developed from that. It's got to have done. Do you know what I mean? How we change.
Yeah.
You know, how our eyes change. You know, maybe to adapt to cold. It could be to cold weather. I'm not being like facetious here. You know, it could be for that reason. But who was it? Okay, in the 4th century, Saint Augustus tried to get people to look beyond the Bible. You know, to have a wider scope of knowledge or things to think of, even though it's been written down. I think it was Genesis 1 and 2 were the ones where I was told Genesis 1 was the account and Genesis 2 is the myth, and I didn't really understand because I don't really read the Bible.
No,
but
I have tried.
Yeah, and then I just sit there and go, what?
See, the thing is, we're reading it in English. It wasn't written.
I was just gonna. Do you know what? You've just reminded me. Yeah, and I did go to Sunday school when I was little because they sang songs and they give you sandwiches. One of the tractors, and they give you sandwiches, and I think it was somewhere for my mum and dad to send me.
Get out of the way.
Yeah. Lovely Bible though. But anyway, what I was going to say is, somebody there. I do remember being told when I was a kid that it wasn't written in English. You understand? You know, like it wasn't put to me like it was transcribed by so and so. You know, it was actually written in another language, so some words might be different, and that's how it was put to me. The way some words are, sentences are, they may be slightly different because it wasn't written in English.
I mean, what's interesting is...
Oh, look what I just did there.
Adam, well, I was reading it in Islam, and Adam meant something. But also, Adam in Turkish is man.
Man, yeah.
And I've said this before, and Ev, or you could say Eve, means house.
Eve? Oh yeah, Eve.
Man in his house. Yeah, in Turkish.
Interesting.
Just a thought, but yeah.
God, apparently other people in Christianity, God blessed us with a consciousness. Yeah, so I'm getting, for once on there, I do get what's being said. You know, and sorry if we haven't covered the religion that you follow, but remember Scientology.
Well,
Lord Zeno.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Lord
Right.
Zeno.
So what
Went
do
into
they
the
believe then?
volcano.
Yeah.
Erupted.
Yeah.
We've got titans all over us, but we're going into religion now. But what I'm saying
Yeah,
is
but what do they believe then? How life began?
that, like that. Lord Zeno from the galactic.
That's worse than Christianity. Sorry,
I know. But I'm
like
saying,
believing
and
Santa
then
Claus.
please don't think we're having a go at everything. It was just, yeah. I can't get into that.
Well, I'm on the fence with
You know, you're sitting on a chair.
Darwin's theory or evolution, and I can completely wipe out the Bible and Christianity and religion because I don't believe any of it.
But they're thinking, sorry to interrupt you, but even the people who are following Christianity are saying that it was already here. It's just that Adam and Eve were made in his image. That's what I read. Not all Christian. I don't know if that's all Christians.
No, you have to literally take the Bible for what it is. If you're going to believe in the Bible, you need to read it, didn't you, and study it and take it word for what it is. Because people try and change things.
Yeah.
Don't they?
And God.
I remember,
Everybody believes in what they believe in, and it's just we're talking about evolution. My theory,
where we come from.
Where we come from is we just evolved from different things.
Yeah, which will bring us to part 2.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about in part 2 about the Anunnaki,
right?
Which are alien races, and we are laughing at what's his face, Cruise's weird religion.
Oh, you mean Scientology?
That's the one. Yeah, we are laughing at that because we know.
And I will continue forever.
Yeah, we know it was a science fiction writer that made it all up.
Yeah.
And the Anunnaki thing, though, you know, what we are going to talk about in the next episode is also fact of historical fact, you know, of things written on stone, and it goes back to other ancient religions of Gilgamesh, you know, long before the Bible was ever even thought of, thousands and thousands of years ago. So we're going to talk about that
in part 2. Yeah. So I think, you know, you give us your points of view. Really indeedly would like to hear from you, and we'll see you on part 2 of this little series. But give us your points of view. Really like to hear from it.
Where do you think it come from?
Twycross Zoo, this one. See you next time. Goodbye from me, Marie.
And it's goodbye from me, Tina.
Have a good time wherever you are. Bye.
Bye.